Welcome to Merrimack Valley High School and Middle School Complex. The high school is right here. Middle school is behind it. This is the first high-performance school building in New Hampshire. It was a retrofit. We had electric heat here built in the 60s. When it came time to determine what kind of fuel we wanted when we did the retrofit in 2005 and 6, it was a year and a half. We never lost a day of school. The normal oil and gas came up and everything else, and because of electric, we'd have to build a boiler room and stuff. We had one member of the school board who was very, very green at the time, and he started pushing the wood chips. We went to Vermont to 3 or 4 or 5 different plants and looked at them and everything else. And it turned out that wood chips was the way to go for us. There's a couple of plants in Hanover that are basically the same, but we're the first New Hampshire SAU to have a wood chip plant here. In order to put a boiler room on that school would have cost about $900,000. Oil, gas, take your pick, and do its thing. Build this plant and hook up the middle school to it. We had boilers over there that were oil. They are the backup boilers for this system. Even though they're 2,000 feet away, they're on the loop. With today's controls, it doesn't make any difference where they are. So this plant costs us approximately $600,000 extra to do the wood chips and hook up the middle school. We get 55% state funding, so it ends up about $300,000. We have already paid that off after 5 years of operation. This past year, we're paying $48 a ton for chips delivered. That's the equivalent 78, 80 cents a gallon of oil. We save approximately, and especially the higher the oil goes, the better we like it, because the numbers look good. It's the same amount of oil we're saving, but the numbers look great. Anyway, we save approximately $50,000 to $75,000 a year heating these 2 buildings, and now we heat a bus maintenance facility on the other side of here, and the SAU office building, which we hooked up on the other side with Reggie money from PUC, so anybody can say anything about Reggie. It's a great program, and what they're trying to do in Concord is criminal to it, but that's another day for the politics. We get the chip deliveries approximately once a week. This bunker will hold about 70 to 75 tons of chips. For us, in the coldest part of the winter, a full one tractor trailer load is 30 to 35, and that's a 1-week supply for all 4 buildings, approximately 260,000 square feet that we're heating with this. It's a 5 million BTU Messerschmitt boiler. The simplicity of the Messerschmitt system, to me, is the key to their success. The boilers all burn the chips. You get the chips to the boiler, they're all going to burn them, right? The key is getting them to the boiler. That's where the systems differ, and that's where Messerschmitt, in my opinion, the simplicity of their system does the trick. Feel free to interrupt at any time for a question if you have it. I skip over sections as I get rolled and everything else. I think you're all familiar with the tractor trailers with the live floors. You know what they are. They come in, dump it, chips go through an auger up into the boiler plant. You can't go down to the lower level today, but you can wander around the boiler room. I have a video keyed up that's Carl Bielenberg talking about these systems and why and what and all that, if anybody's interested. Any questions right now?
Where your chips come from?
Chips? They're all local. This winter has pretty much been Guilford, New Hampshire, about 20 miles from here. Last winter was Danbury, New Hampshire. We like mill chips. In the first couple of years, we pretty much had almost 100% mill chips. but the more and more the mills, I guess, are moving to Canada, so those mill chips aren't as available. We had 3 or 4 loads this year. This year the forests were tough for the loggers because of the warm conditions and everything. They had a lot of problems. We never had a problem getting chicks, but I guess the loggers had problems getting them out and doing their thing. We had a couple of truckloads this year that came out of Orange, Mass, and they're the mill chips. I like the mill chips because there's no bark on them, and the experts tell me that, and I'm an accountant by trade, so that's why I just spout the facts that I understand as I understand them. They say the mill chips of the bark has as much BTU value as the hardwood chips, and I say fine, you know, I'll believe it, but it's got to be by weight, not by volume, because there's no way that has a BTU value. So anyway, we have regular garbage cans that you'll see inside for ash. With mill chips, tractor trailer load, 30 to 35 tons, you have 1 to 1.5 of these, just a regular 33-gallon garbage pail. 1 to 1.5 with the mill chips. With the bowl chips, we'll have 5 or 6 garbage pails of ash. We use all the ash on the athletic fields. Every other year, the guys just come in, dump the bucket. Every other year, they top dress the fields with the ash, and we can't generate enough ash to do 1 field in 2 years. It's a pound per pound equivalent to lime, so every pound of ash is just like putting lime on the fields, which I think the district last year spent $13,000 on lime, so it goes towards helping that.
And you don't mix the ash with anything?
Nothing, straight up. And there's 2 barrels down there. The silver barrel is the ash that comes out of the boiler. The other barrel is a black barrel that is the fly ash from the scrubber. And you'll see the difference in the 2 ashes. The fly ash is like fine talcum powder. There's a bigger pail for that, and I guess it's 50, 55, whatever it is. The fly ash out of the scrubber will take about 1.5 to 2 of them a year out of the thing. So it's quite a bit. We have a multi-cyclone scrubber. Now I guess they have an electrostatic particulate that is 10 times even more efficient. DES with the permit, and we have no problems. They come here, they write the permit. I think it costs $300 for the permit for a year for this. As you see, we're in a neighborhood. We have no trouble with anything coming out of the stack. With the green wood that we're burning, it's 35 to 45% moisture, so anything coming out is just water vapor. You have to dry it before you can burn it. Any questions?
Do you test your mixture on a per load basis?